Hello. I decided to do a just pretty quick video on a Breville. It's a BOV800xl toaster oven. These are the pieces. This is the back. This is the grill, and this is the bottom tray that goes slides inside. So that doesn't this doesn't pertain to it, but this is the back. Here's the feet for the unit, whatever you call it, the bottom leg for it. And these are the longer screws. There's only 2 or 3 different types of screws for this whole disassemble, but there's 8 of these longer screws for these. These have each 2 on each up and lower. Or there's 4 on each one of these required to put these back on, and then there's these screws that go in here. But anyway, so I have it all taken apart, and what the problem was, the spring for the door had broken. So the door would just slam open, and wouldn't really heat properly because I couldn't get the door to stay shut. I'd have to place something against the door, and you don't really want to do that because it can get really hot. So anyways, bottom line is you want to try to fix your unit that you have. So what I did is I figured out what was broken, and it was this spring. I'm showing you right here. This is the broken one, and there's 2 connections that connect the spring to the door, and I'll show you that in a second. But so these are the replacement ones I ordered from Amazon. They only sold these in 10 packs, and but it was only $10. So I went and ordered it. So I have 10 of them. Now I have 9 spare, and I was going to show you what they are. They are 60 millimeter by 10 millimeter. I'll show you the model number, but you could probably find it on Amazon if you type in Breville toaster oven door spring. Anyway, so what I did was I took the new spring and I ran it through. This is what connects to the door. I'll show you. See, that's what gives the door the spring action. And I ran it. At first, I ran it through the other way backwards, this loop. But then I changed it because what I did. I'll show you how you connect it. First, those 2 screws inside the toaster oven when you're down to this assembly part, and it holds this metal plate, which also holds the glass tubes that contain the heating elements. So be careful with this part, especially. Anyway, so I'm showing you because you have to loosen this, and then I'll show you the little nub inside where the spring connects. If you can see it. See, the spring connects right here, and there's like a nub. So I ran the spring in that nub right there, and then you put the metal plate back together, and that will hold the spring in place. But the reason I also want to show you is when you put the metal plate back on, don't force it, because you got to make sure, because these little tubes can come out. I'll show you. These little tubes can come out of place, the glass tubes. So make sure you have them positioned correctly on both ends, and then you can go ahead and get that metal plate screwed back in from the back. So anyways, I'll show you when I'm done. I'll show you some more of this. Okay, I want to show a couple more things. So I tightened the metal plate. Let me show you the screw heads, because now you can see where they're at. There's one there, and then one there, just kind of like above the heating tube, the heating element. So those 2, you remove those, and that's where I was able to move this thing out of the way. But I was also mentioned, be careful on this side. There's like probably capacitors in there, and you can probably get shocked if you're not careful on this side. Just don't touch that side, and obviously it's unplugged, of course. And then, oh yeah, one more thing before I start putting more back together. When you take this apart, like I did, I didn't really know how much I had to take apart. And when I went to go put it back together, I came across one of these, and it was just thrown. Like I didn't know where it was located at. I was trying to figure it out, and how I figured it out was on this piece right here, the bottom plate. This piece that looks like this, it lines up because you tuck it inside of here, and then it lines up with the holes. And then that's what allows your screws to have something to screw into. And there's one on the other side. That's how I figured it out, because this one on this side actually fell out while I was trying to figure it out. So I figured, oh, that's where it goes. So they might not fall out on you or whatever, but if they do, just showing you that's how they go. And then that's what it looks like underneath right now. And then I'll show you when I put more of this together. Okay, I thought I'd mention something before you start putting this thing back together, which I almost got too far on it, where I had to go back, almost had to take something back apart. So this panel that I had to pull out to get to the spring, right here, it has a lip on top, a track. And what that track is, it's for this piece of metal has to slip into that track. So in order to do that, you have to bend it back out. So what I'll do is I'll show you after I bend it back out and then how it looks when it's in the track. Oh yeah, what I wanted to show though is there's 4 screws here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I was having trouble getting those screws to go in. Well, it connects to the electronic board inside. So you have to kind of, like, this is where I would be very careful. I mean, there might be another way, but what I'm doing, I'm reaching my finger and you can kind of move it around from underneath. Do not touch below where you need to. And as you can see, now I could put the screws in, okay, in case you get stuck on that part. And then if I run into any other issues, I'll mention that. Okay, in conclusion, it's a good thing that I was able to get my fingers through here and then push this control board so I can screw these screws in here. But keep in mind that there's a ton of screws. They're everywhere. And I'm still not 100% done, but I wanted to show you real quick before I finish this section. So make sure you tighten. I have a thing where when I put something together, never tighten the screws. Always have them just kind of loose. So in case you got to kind of shift things around. So, but anyways, I went back and I tightened all the applicable screws. And there's 2 screws that you don't put a screw. There's 2 there. And then of course these ones you don't put a screw yet. And then these two. But all the other screw holes pretty much get utilized. So the reason you don't screw those 2 screws, that's to hold the feet. And there's a groove, and you want to make sure that it fits into the groove, and then you push it into place. And you push it into place, and then you use the 4 long screws, 2 here, 2 here. These are the longer ones. You'll know when you remove them. And then, okay, so I ended up taking it back apart because the spring was actually a little bit weak. I didn't like how it wasn't. Like I said, it's not the original spring. They don't sell that in their website or anything. They discontinued. They probably don't really want people fixing these things anymore. I don't know. But the one that I put, it looked like this, and it comes with 10 of them, like I said, so that's a plus to have extra. Because what I ended up doing is this was all the way like this, so I ended up cutting it shorter. So I cut it here, around here, and then I bent it so I could shorten the length. That way the spring will have more tension. So it looks like that now. So that's pushed through the hole. I bent that. I'll show you the tool I had. You don't have to have this tool, but I happen to have this tool. It's like a little needle nose with an offset, 45 angle or so. And I used that to kind of get in there and twist it. And that I didn't have to mess with this part I already installed. So yeah, I had to take the thing apart again. So anyways, but now I checked it already. But I'll show you. I wanted to show the completed project when I check it though. All right, thank you. Okay, on the final finishing of the repair, I thought I'd kind of just make a little chart here to show you. So it's for the Breville convection toaster oven model BOV800xl. So this is the original spring. I wrote it down, original spring. And this is where it broke. This broke off from here. And then the other end is lost, but it broke off as well. And they don't sell these anymore. I mean, maybe you could find this more of an accurate spring than this, but the one that I found on Amazon that recommended for this product was this, and it's I think it's LUOYMAO 60 millimeter by 10 millimeter spring. I don't remember how it was ordered because I sent the link to someone else to order it. I had to cut it. I cut it with like wire cutters, pretty kind of like right to there. There's a piece that I cut off of the one that I used, and then I had to bend using this tool. I bent the spring so that I could put it into the shown location that I showed you in the video earlier. So anyways, here's the product. Here's running. It's actually, testing it. It's working. It's heating it. It's on the convection motor, so it's got the fan going. It's kind of noisy, but as you can see, the door is much better. It stays shut. It's not as strong as the original spring, but it's not bad. Like, still, it kind of slams a little bit more than the other one when you let it flop open. But when you shut it, it stays shut and allows it to run and operate correctly. So yeah, it's done. It's repaired. I mean, if you could find the spring more closely, I mean, like this one worked. Like I said, if I didn't cut it shorter to make it more tension on it, it probably would have been pretty dang weak for this application. And it's actually a thicker, stronger spring, but it's just that it's longer. You know what I mean? It's got a longer distance. And I probably, if I would have shortened both ends, but I don't know if I can, because if you shorten this end, I don't know if you'd be able to get it to go around the nub inside that I showed you. But anyways, the bottom line is it worked, and it's running, and I got it back together. That's a little bent right here. It's kind of hard to get this thing back together. There's a lot of screws. You pretty much have to take them all out. There's not really a shortcut. I was trying to see if I could find a shortcut when I put it back together, but it was a bear. It was really hard. I mean, you can really cut yourself if you're not careful on this thing. It's got sharp metal. In fact, I had some leftover screws, but they're not causing any problems. Some of them were for underneath for the legs of the door. I mean, legs of the feet. The feet on the bottom, whatever you call it. They're longer screws, and maybe that's what I did. I thought there was I thought there was 6 on each leg, like 6 long ones on each one. Maybe there was only 4 long ones, and then the other 2 were shorter. It's up to you. If you take yours apart to fix it, it's kind of up to you too to keep that in mind. I mean, I just kind of blew through it. Just wanted to get it taken apart to see if I could even fix it. But anyways, good luck if you try this project, and hopefully yours doesn't break the same way, but it could be a common problem. All right, thanks for watching.